So, next up, on stage. It sounds like a joke. It's like Ruth, Brianna, and two Sams walking to a bar. Samantha Ferris, Sam Smith, Ruth, Connell, and Brianna.
Chairs for a second. Why have we never done musical chairs?
Okay. Working a move. You're in.
I'm tired so much. I needed that. I'm tired. Let's sit down. I forgot about the altitude when I thought, let's play a physical game this morning. Thanks for that. Thank you so much, Rob Benedict.
Thank you.
Thank you. How was his panel? Hold on. Go. Does this work? There we go.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure the mic was working. You gotta really make sweet love to
I can just yell.
Not after last night. My God, I lost my voice. How many of you guys were here last night? Wow, that's almost everyone. Good for you guys.
These guys are done.
Yeah.
Denver.
Why is it so bright in here?
Because he wanted the house lights on.
Is it just me? Why are the house lights
like halfway up?
Should we bring the house lights down for Nana and her eyes today?
Can we bring the house lights down for a more intimate?
Yes. And cuter in the dark. Okay, all right, calm down.
No, don't calm down.
I warned Ruthie about you guys. She did. I warned her. I said they're a rowdy bunch of motherfuckers. Keep it up. But don't ask hard questions. And that's about all for me. Thank you so much.
Okay, so decide first. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you want? Oh, you just talking amongst yourselves?
Hi, I'm
Where are you from, darling?
New Orleans.
Nice. Ease off.
Supernatural is continuing in less than a month with the Winchesters, so I wanted to know what y'all wanted to see in the prequel, and especially Sam, because your character is obviously going to get a lot more lore. So what would you like to see and thoughts about the prequel?
Which Sam?
Yes, let's be specific.
Samantha.
There we go.
Yes.
I think it's on you.
Damn it.
We said no hard questions.
Tune the shit out of this answer. I want to make sure she doesn't fuck it up.
I just want to be in it, okay? I just want to be in it at some point.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to say.
I will not be in it, for anyone who's going to ask me.
You will not be in it? Or a different version of you, is that it?
No, the teenage version, even younger.
Have you seen her? What she looks like?
She's great.
Do you get the thumbs up and thumbs down on who gets to play you? Wouldn't that be great? I want bigger boobs, and I want this, cute feet, little waists.
When they cast Amy Gubenik as a younger version of me, like back in season 4 or something.
Right.
And she did a great job. They cast her great. And then the newer one is like even younger. It's like very much she keeps getting older, but she actually keeps staying the same. I've seen the preview, same as all of you guys, and I thought it looked great. I did have the benefit of reading the script, which was surprisingly, like, the way they, because I think I had a lot of, probably the same questions everyone else. I'm like, how are they, didn't we see that? Like, and they did a really good job. They did a really good job.
Sam, your question's funny though, because one time, do you have any say in who plays you? I one time had a leg double, and I had no say, and she turned up, and they needed a leg double for my left leg. And
Why? And how was your
there
leg?
needed to be a hex bag sewn in, blah blah blah. It never actually got shown.
Oh, okay.
It didn't actually show, but she had a tattoo. They cast someone with a tattoo on her left leg. It's like, well.
I don't have one. You know, I did a series many years ago called Supernatural. That's it was called Beggars and Choosers, and it was all nudity all the time. It was like right when Showtime was getting really edgy, and I had to come up to the front door. I was younger too, a lot thinner, and I had to draw to they do a shot from the back. Not lots of nudity, right? They're all in the shot. And I had to drop a trench coat because I've been hitting on this actor and I'm going to blackmail him because I know he's gay, because my name was Sandra Cassandra. And I just ate, slept, and screwed everything just to get a role. It was a great show. It was the best, one of the best. Anyway, they go, okay, we're getting a body double to drop your trench coat from behind for the bottom of the stairs. And I was offended because I was hot. Like, you should see my ass. It doesn't look like it looks now. I mean, it's taking a run for the basement and it's a little cheese on there. I had a great ass. And I'm like, why don't you guys use my real ass? And they're like, hang on a second. So I show her, she's, gum snapping 22-year-old bikini model. I saw her ass and I went, oh, definitely use her, but I'm taking the credit. Everybody, all my friends are like, how did you pull that off? I'm like, I was working on it before. Nobody knows, it's not my ass. So if any of my friends, I have a lot of secrets this weekend, if any of my friends find out, I know it was you.
4 walls, guys, 4 walls.
Yeah, that's right. Does that answer your question about the Winchesters?
No way, shape, or form. And that's what we aim to do.
Exactly. Oh, bless.
What's your name? Where are you from? What do you want?
Okay. My name is Sean. I'm here. I'm from Denver. And the question is for you, Queen of Hal. As someone who spent time in the bunker, I was wondering how you redecorated Hal. And if it was based on anything you had seen in the bunker.
Well, I'll tell you what I didn't do was I didn't have polystyrene staircases for me to walk around in my high heels. That was the actual set. I did all of that scene in hell, finally standing on my tiptoes. I couldn't put my heels down.
You were in hell. In hell.
Thank you, and good night. So I would have hard floors. I would have actual hard floors you could stand on.
Polystyrene is styrofoam. The stairs were styrofoam. She was wearing high heels.
Did you get that? Thank
Yes.
you so much. That made no sense.
We have scientists on this panel today.
Science.
They weren't saying anything. They were just like, okay. The Scottish ladies saying stuff. It's fine. It's fine.
Just nod and smile like you understand what she's saying.
Don't we really only ever answer like 50% of it? I know we mean to, but we get off on tangents and at the end it's like, I really don't
They love it. They love it.
I always finish my answer with, what was the question again?
Exactly. Did I
We're
answer
also
that?
just waking up. There's no oxygen in this room. Bear with us.
I'll tell you though, my tagline for what Rowena does in hell is, she makes hell great again. Say no more.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi. So you guys are super awesome, ladies of Supernatural.
Yeah.
But we never get to see all 4 of you together on screen. So if you could organize like a scene, what would that look like for the 4 of you together?
Oh, it would always involve food. Let's be real. Pleasure first, always.
I think the ladies on Supernatural deserve a spa day. Not to be too, what's the word, stereotypical or anything.
No, I love
Those
that.
girls, they have it rough.
Yeah.
Except for her.
Hey, I can run a spa in hell. and you could all come down. Sam, what do you think? You gonna come down and get your bum massage?
I'm not that girl. I'm just not that girl.
No, the character. You don't like a spa?
I don't think, well, she's definitely.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ellen, no.
That's right. Somebody said, how do you explain your character? I'd say she's a bar-owning, beer-drinking, gun-toting broad. So I would say if I had to put the four of us together in a scene, I would say we're preparing for war because you know that we're going to be, the guys are going to sit around last minute, do it, bang into each other. We're going to have everything laid out. Okay, where's your ammo? Where's your salt? Where's your this? Where's your that? Do you want to go for a smoke? Where's the whiskey? Got a vodka. You know, we would be so organized. In so well, and we would do it so well. That would be my answer.
To tag on to this, I believe exactly the same thing, except we'd all be sitting around a dinner table, because I think it's fascinating to watch actors. I love watching people in scenes eating. I just love it so much. We'd all be eating dinner together, bitching about how long it takes the men to do things. Just like, all we have to do is throw salt in him. Like, what's his fucking problem? Just let them do it their way, let them think they're cute and better.
Sam and I really tried to be in a scene together, didn't we?
Oh, we milked the 5-second window.
Yeah, we actually, our paths did cross in the bunker, and we really tried. We thought the director might pick up in it and like make it a thing. And
We tried to do the same thing, when we met, we actually tried to, at the end of our scene, we tagged it.
Yeah, okay.
And we like crossed over, there was a circle, I don't remember the episode. It was, you know, I don't know shit about this show, there's a circle. Lucifer was there, I shot him. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And she was there, and then at the end of the scene, we like crossed, and we just went, hi, I'm Donna. They cut it.
Yeah, not shot.
Yeah.
We actually were in a scene that Rowena was holding the gate from the AU, and I came through. We did like, I came through, and we had like a.
Oh, that's cute. I like
we had another
it.
set bunker afterwards, and actually Felicia and I got it in, and they actually kept that. There's a shot Felicia and I in the bunker together. But you were across the room, you were too far over. You weren't in the same shot, so it wouldn't have happened. But yeah, I think we'd be held together, you know, hanging out.
We'd be hanging out.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Bethany. I'm from Southern Colorado. At first, I just want to say that I appreciate you ladies. You're all so beautiful inside and out. And I just appreciate the positive female role models that we're providing for our women. So thank you for that. So my question is, what's the weirdest, grossest, or most unique item you've ever been asked to autograph?
Grossest, I like that.
That always comes up. What is the most vile, disgusting, dirty, whatever, slimy, wet, moist? I hate that word, moist.
I've not been asked to autograph a bum crack yet. That's not an invitation.
Ruth's autographs today are at 2:30.
Can I just say though, it might sound a bit wanky, I don't care. You're our role models. This fandom is fantastic. Your kindness and your support is unparalleled. Even more so than Star Trek or anything. Oh yeah. I think so. You're our role models.
The generosity that kills me. Like, it's just jaw-dropping. And patience. You guys are patient. I fucking hate you. No.
There's a gentleman sitting here with a very serious face. I think he's taking it seriously. You know, you're the blue plaid shirt, sir. You know. He's great.
That's because he got dragged here by
Oh, he's smiling. He's
his
smiling.
girlfriend.
We got him.
I give guys credit for it though. We had a couple guys actually come up and sing last night, and I always give men credit because they're, I mean, it could be a good thing. They're painfully outnumbered, but normally 9 out of 10, it's like, you're here with your wife or your girlfriend? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you're gonna get lucky, lady? He's like, that was kind of the idea. I tell you what, if I didn't come, I definitely would not be. So they kind of give it. Often the guys have fun because again, they're surrounded by hot ladies. You, us. You smell good.
For now.
What was the question?
Last question. Next. Oh, what else is there?
Question? There wasn't even a question.
I don't. I think somebody once asked me to sign the shoe that they were wearing.
Oh.
And that was, I don't know, it was not gross.
Was it warm and moist?
Yep. But also I'm just like, yeah, sure, what the fuck do I care? Like, I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'll sign whatever. No bum cracks. Today. But yeah, we'll sign whatever. I haven't gotten anything gross. It's a unique things, but.
I get a bit nervous when people ask me to sign hex bags. I'm like, you're not, like, I'm not cursing myself or something. I'm actually writing my name on this. That happened before. One time there was real stuff in it. I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
Is this a shoe?
Thank you.
I signed a fingernail.
Very small handwriting.
Yeah, and I had to go down for the Sharpie. I'm like, I can't even get the first letter. I also had my face on a woman's in Vegas. Somebody put my face on her fingernail.
That's cool.
I think she had like a character from the show on every, and it was a real, I took pictures of it. It's amazing some of the stuff that the fans come up with.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just so humbling because people put so much effort into being fans of the characters of the show. It's stunning.
Somebody tagged me in a photograph with Rowena on her. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things.
Yeah.
Here, a tattoo.
Yeah, when people tattoo me or my autograph, I'm just like, you think grave error. Especially if they tell me after I've done the signature and it's just chicken scratch and they're like, I'm gonna get this tattooed. And they walk away and they just know they've like made the decision, they're gonna do it. So if you're gonna do it, tell me before and I'll make it pretty for you. Yeah, you're welcome. Hello.
Hi, my name is Kayla. I'm from Denver. I asked this question to Sam Ferris yesterday, but I wanted to open up to all of you. I wanted to know if you had any advice for monitor or model to monitor role model, how to let go of your kids as they're growing up.
Do we have to? We were just actually having this conversation last night at dinner, a bunch of us. But my daughter's 8, and she is just at the age now where she's starting to individuate, which is exciting and so sad at the same time. And the strangest thing happened a couple weeks ago where she cut a bunch of her hair off. She had very, very long hair, and she just wanted, we always get her a trim before school starts, and she cut it off to her shoulders. And I had a very emotional reaction. And she didn't know what was happening because I was like at the hair salon with her, and I was very teary, and then afterwards I was hugging her nonstop, and she's like, okay, Mom, okay. But there's something with hair because you've had it for so long, and she's had long hair since she was probably 4. Well, I mean, she's been growing that head of hair since she was 3 or 4, and to cut it off, you're just like, you have to really let that part of her go. I don't know, it was very emotional. And at the same time, I think that we just have to be excited and hope that we've done our best and that they're good people. And ultimately, if they're good people, they're going to create the energy of goodness around them. And I try to think of that as excitement and watching her become who she's meant to be, who she was born to be, which has so little to do with what I am or what I do for her. All I am is a space to hold her space so she can become who she is. And then you let them fly. That's it.
My son is 14, and I know, 14, yeah, 2 inches taller than me. It's a whole thing.
It's so funny because we've been doing this for so long that you forget, as we get older, we know we get older, but we forget the kids also get older.
Do you get older? I don't get older.
Because I get older and better, so.
And I have moments of panic, like I have all his life. I'm like, there's only this many more years till he goes off to college, like, because that's what I do. And what I've noticed happening, he started high school, and they pull away. There's a lot of like, door shut, he's talking to his friends, and them pulling away and still managing to be fine without me, it's all of you who have children who are teenagers or grown, know you've gone through this. it's nature's way. Like they don't they're not sitting on your lap until the day they leave. There's a natural pull and separation that helps you both. And it's of course like habit, and I don't like when he's not at home, and I don't want him to go far away to college, but I'll be prepared because it's not overnight. It's little by little by little.
Can I give advice to Rowena?
Yeah.
Kick him out the door.
For 3 pigs!
3 pigs. Get 3 pigs for him.
And then lock the door, kick him out and lock it. Good luck.
Thank you, you got this. If you're a mama or if you are talking about your mom, but either way it's going to be okay. And what's more important is that you are okay and important and special, and whether you're on either side of that balance beam, you are who you are in this world, and that's all you have to do and all you have to be.
And speaking as a daughter, like I just went home for 48 hours. Like they always come, if you love them and let them go, they come back, right? They keep coming back. And then it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be all right.
Well, so I also think that the emotion of when they leave is not necessarily a bad thing. I feel that I just dealt with 18 years of chronic pain, and something that I've learned so much about chronic pain is you don't hurt from chronic pain because you felt your emotions. You hurt because you didn't. You buried them so deep. And I think that feeling all those emotions, there's nothing wrong with feeling sad and wanting to see somebody go. You gotta feel all that shit. That's why we're here. We're alive for 80 whatever. Well, you guys maybe a little longer. My family, we don't live that long, so I'm not gonna say 80 for me. And I'm good with that. I have no problem with that. But you gotta feel all the emotions to be alive. And part of that is sadness and part of that is grief, because the other side of that is joy and love and all that stuff. But feeling feelings is so much better than not feeling them at all. That's why we have addiction. That's why we have people on the streets. People are so hiding from their emotions. And it's normal, because it's painful as shit for sure. But I would say embrace those feelings, man. Sadness is a good thing. It says that you're alive, so for sure. That's my answer.
I love that. I love what you just said.
Thank you. Hello. That was real dark. We're being interrogated
I
right
think
now.
someone's leaning on the door on the light switches.
Sure, they were. Now we're in the set.
That is super dark.
It's okay.
There we go. They gotta get their way down to
Somewhere.
It's like somebody resetting the air conditioning in the car, like, hold on, off.
Hi, my name is Kiara and I'm from Denver. My question to you guys is, you guys have a lot of women power up there, and especially with your characters in comparison to, how many of the characters of the guys do you think it would take to take all 4 of you guys on?
Like with guns or physically or?
Anything.
All of them. Or like mentally and emotionally, because really, that's where women are better.
Yeah.
Just all of it, because you guys have the physical power, you guys have the mama bear power.
I don't want to fight Jensen. I just like...
I do.
My first scene, and I'll just answer this real quick and pass it on. My first scene, we disarmed both boys in 2 seconds. So I would say we kicked the fucking ass. I try to keep that to adult roar, but that's just, and see there's one standing right next to you, and I'm sorry to the parents. I'll try to keep that to adult roar. But like I said, my first scene of the first shoot, of the first day, of the first everything, was they came in, and we disarmed them immediately, and then she smashed them in the face twice. And so, we're winning on that.
I like to toy with them. To toy with them. Don't break them. They're too pretty.
There are ways of winning that don't involve violence.
Yes.
And that's why I think the women would always win. Because the men are taught and trained and ingrained to use physical power, because that's, centuries, decades, what they've been taught to do. But women have had to come up with other ways, other cunning ways to have power, have their power. So I think that would be, for me, through Donna, it would be to disarm people through kindness and comedy. I think for other people, for Rowena, it would be, as you said, is to kind of,
Tickle them to death.
tickle them to death, yes. I think
I would threaten to ground them, and they would do what I say.
See? You mom them to death?
I would.
Yeah.
Sit down, eat that sandwich.
No!
That's right. Wash your hands.
This is just a little bit of a tangent, but I've really been thinking this week about how anger is often seen as a masculine emotion, and men, when they feel anxious, sometimes show anger, and women, we actually show anxiety, and how there's, anyway, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I've been thinking about it a lot this week. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? We all have anxiety, and we all have anger, and they're both valid, and they both can be healthy expressions of what's actually going on. It's when we try to, as Sam was saying, it's when you try to kind of mute them, they come out the wrong way, whichever way. So I don't really want to fight them. I really don't. I want to love them, love on them. That's okay.
Thank you. Hello.
My name is Julia. I'm from San Francisco, and I remember when I started watching Supernatural, I was barely a teen, and compared to everything else that we had streaming at the time, it was the first time that I saw a group of whiskey-drinking, stabby females who could curse and break
At the
things.
conventions or on the show?
I mean, both. But I just wanted to ask you if now, knowing what you know about the show, the plot, if there's any aspect to memory that you have of it that you would want, for example, your children or any other teen girls to watch and take away from it, or any, scene that stuck with you as a female.
From Supernatural?
The bit where I take over hell. Yeah, I actually think that was important for all the female fans to see a woman actually be in charge there.
Yeah.
I think that was important. So I'm being funny, but also that's my answer. Anyone else?
I like the bit where, in Hibby 911, where Jody was so worked up about having to pair with Donna because Jody was such she liked being a lone wolf, and Donna did not, and they were able to come to this kind of beautiful relational agreement where Jody decided, instead of stonewalling Donna, she was going to teach her everything. And I thought that was just such a beautiful thing. I think that we're such communal, a tribal society, humans, I mean, and that we do need each other, and we try to convince ourselves that we don't. And I always tell Valentina that you can be a leader, but you don't have to be the leader. You can be a leader by encouraging other people to be leaders and showing them how they are leaders of themselves and can lead other people. And I think that was such a beautiful scene where Jody was just like, I can teach you some stuff if you want. I think we could do more of that.
And I would say, and I'm only saying this because I know it's a question that I get the most, and it's the most memorable scene for me, is the death of, well, I'm not spoiling anything, right? You guys are
Spoiler
Okay.
from fucking season
Big
2.
one, big one.
Oh, was it season 2?
No,
3?
no,
If you haven't seen it by now, too bad.
Yeah, exactly. If you haven't made it that far, then you're not really a Supernatural fan. But I would say my biggest scene is the death of my daughter and I'm very proud of that. And one of the things that I say a lot is I get more comments from abroad, from everywhere in the world, of people saying, and I used to get people come in a line to get my autograph, and they were 10 people back and they start crying. And I got used to it, but I'm like, what are you guys crying at? And that scene, for some reason, I don't know why, it was some weird connection, I don't know, it was the lighting that day, whatever it was. I've had so many women and mother combinations come up to me and say thank you for that death scene, because it reminded them how much they miss their family. I have people that haven't talked to their family in 40 years. See that scene, it makes me cry every time I get it.
It was fantastic.
Unbelievable scene.
It was a great scene,
Yeah.
and I don't know why it's not, we didn't do anything special, we're just two actors, but he hit so many people so hard, and I
No,
love
that's the beautiful thing.
yeah, it was a perfect storm.
Who was the director of that episode?
Phil Screecha.
Oh, yeah. Well, he gets it. He also knows how to utilize women in the show.
In a good way.
In a good way, yeah.
I think what you just said, though, is part and parcel to the entire show. Because if you look at it on paper, it's like these two boys hunt mean creatures. It does not encompass the family and the way it connects to people. The small things, the small moments, the real moments, that people can project their own feelings about their own family and friends onto it and realize how important it all is. And so I think it makes total sense.
Yeah, and it's great to be able to give that to a family. It's like something that we do don't know if you guys know it, when you guys respond to a scene and it hits you hard, it hits us way harder than it hit you hard. Does that make sense? Like when you guys come up and say, this thing, I remembered it, I cried, whatever, we take that home and go, not only did I do my job, but I got a chance to really touch somebody else. And this fan base of this show was like no other show I've ever seen. You guys are really, I won't say you're an emotional bunch, but I will say that you guys really get into the characters and it really hits you guys really
They
hard.
are an emotional bunch.
They are an emotional.
Exactly, emotional creatures.
Yes, we're loud. Now, do you know that women are 99.6% emotional, sorry, 96% emotionally driven, and men are like in the 20s or something like that, because it goes back to caveman days. To keep our people, well, but I've seen it on a couple of, whatever, surveys, whatever it is, because back in the old day when we were first cavemen, we had to keep the family together, we had to keep people alive, so we were built in with the emotions of taking care of family. They were, can I fuck it, can I kill it, can I eat it? That was men. Sorry guys, you really were. Like they were built to go out.
Over there's like,
yeah. So, and there tend to be a lot of women here, so yes, it definitely is an emotionally charged crowd, but we come by it honestly, we're built that way. So,
What about you, Sammy?
What I was going to say was less specific than that, but something I've observed about all of the female characters in Supernatural is something I actually like to try to bring into my own life a little bit, which is the complete unapologetic standing in their own truth of what they need, what they want, what they think is right, what they need to do. And the same way that the men on the show do, and we as women, I can speak about Mary, get reamed for it. And I'm like, every other Winchester just did everything I've done. So why are you mad at me for it? So, but I think that if you, whether they were good characters or the evil demons or whatever they are, every female character was like, so? And I love it. And then they get but it's standing in your truth and not backing down from men or
it takes the most courage in life to do
yes,
that, doesn't it?
And they were written that way, and I love it. I love it, yeah.
Hello, Kellen. You're back for more, are you? Did you learn your lesson yesterday? Just kidding. You're sick of me already. That's good. Go ahead, honey.
How many pets have you had and what was your favorite pet?
Great question. Great question.
Did you hear it at the back?
No, we didn't hear it in the front.
He said, how many pets have you had and what was your favorite pet? Is that right?
Well, that's like saying who's your favorite kid. I mean, everybody's got one, but they just don't say it out loud. I've had probably 8. I've had snakes, geckos, and cats, birds. I would say Kramer, my own first cat of my firstborn. He lived until he was 18 years old, the love of my life. I still hear his nails on the floorboard of my house for some reason. That's mine.
I grew up on a farm, and so we had lots. We had probably 5 cats and 2 dogs, but they're outdoor cats and dogs. We named them, but we didn't see them that often. They were always like sleeping in the barn or something. And then when I was a teenager, I had a cat named Sierra. She was gifted to me, though she didn't like me very much. And so she always slept with my brothers, but my brothers terrorized her a little bit. And so she just ended up not liking humans very much. And then when my husband and I moved to Vancouver, we were very sad from the amount of rain that there is there. So we decided to adopt a cat. And his name was Gus, or Goose, which is Gustavo, because my husband's Mexican. And so he was Goose, but he came to his name. You said, Goose, come, but we were always worried because he'd go outside and he'd get lost, so he had a little name tag that said Goose, so that if anybody ever found him, they could use his name properly and he would understand. I know, I overthink this shit, I know. And he passed away last year, and we got his remains, and he sits on our mantle with a picture and watches over us, and my daughter talks to him every day. It's very cute. And she wants another cat. So let's just keep this between us, okay, Connell?
I've had so many pets, cats and dogs, and hamsters and fish and mice and chameleons. Since we've had my son, we've had bearded dragons and other lizards. I drew the line now, finally. I'm like, nothing that eats other creatures, please. I can't like have like a cricket farm in my house to feed this. We now have sugar gliders. And 2 dogs. We were going to get another cat, but my husband's allergic. So I was like, no, yeah. But my favorite of all of them was my little dog Stella. She lived till 16. She was a 3-pound Yorkie. And she went with it everywhere. And she and I could just like, I had a little purse, like a satchel. And she'd just hang, like sitting there, with her feet out. And I take her to restaurants and stuff and be like, go in. And she'd like, go in that. I feed her. She went on every plane. She went to like 10 countries. Oh. She was like my pocket pet, and she lived a long time. She clawed her way out the second-story window and had a head injury, and I think she had a little dementia at the end. Oh my God! I think she would have. She literally. I don't know what happened. She clawed her way and landed on a brick stairway, but she was so light. She floated down. Yeah, she had a concussion, but she didn't like break anything. Wow. But she wasn't on painkillers, and I had to carry her around for what is it called? What's the horse tranquilizer? They gave her this much.
Ketamine.
It was just like D.
Demersedan.
No.
That one. The good stuff. Isn't it? I mean, isn't it?
My dad put it on one time, and I just walked in a circle. So, she just kind of hung out for a couple weeks, and she was okay. But I still dream about her. I dream she's come back to life. I dream that she's still here. I dream that I've cloned her. I like was connected to her, and I have her ashes. I have the ashes of all of my pets. There's like a little morbid section of my. They all
put them all together and they'd have a party.
I think they do. They hang out. They're like their ashes are in little boxes, and in the boxes I've also put like their collar and their favorite toy, and I just have a little time to them. But I miss her. She died about 7, 8 years ago. So yeah.
I grew up on a farm too. There was a cow called Ruth at one point. But anyway, one day 2 cats were dumped at our road end, and that happened quite a lot. Heather and Snowy. Snowy was called Snowy because she was Snow White. And Heather was kind of the colour of heather on the hillside. I thought I named them. And Heather couldn't speak. She would go. Oh, wow. And she was like, it was at the point where my parents were going through a divorce and everything. She turned up just at the right moment. And I used to lie down at night time with my arm out, and she would sleep over my arm. Her paws, her front paws on my arm, and her face on my arm. She was like my best friend. And then years later, my stepmom reversed over her. Oh, come on. But she didn't die. She did not die. She's like, Rowena! Foreshadowing! So cats are amazing. And Snowy at one point ran away, got caught in a trap, and his leg came back with only the outside of his leg, and we sewed it up at the vet's office, and she went around with 3 legs. Ages. Cats are amazing.
Yeah, my sister's cat went missing for like 6 weeks and showed up like on someone's roof. He's like, can I have some food? Like 6 weeks?
What are they up to, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you have a pet?
I used to have 2 bunnies.
Oh. What were their names?
Bunny and Fluff.
Great names. Very on the nose. I like that.
That's a good question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kellen. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Hi, my question is for the Sams. So before Mary came back, Ellen kind of played this motherly role in Sam and Dean's lives. So I was wondering what you guys think Ellen and Mary's dynamic would be if they had ever met. Would they get along? Or...
Somebody asked me that yesterday, actually, and I thought about that when somebody was asking us. Interesting. So what would the timeline be? You're gone. Would we be the same age? I guess because I was good friends with your husband.
Except I was, well, yes. If I had not died, we would have been probably. So I was 28 or 29 when I died. Of what year?
Yeah. They always know the answers.
83. So 29 and 83, and then, so you were in 2006. So that
Was it a
would've
real
been-
timeline to real timeline?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay, yeah. So when did I start? 2001? 2000?
No, 2006.
That was my first year. That was year one. Or year two.
2005 is when the show aired.
Okay, then you're right. 2006. Okay,
that's
so
6 plus.
Can you see my eyes glazing over right now?
This is what they do all the time. You rush.
I did not sign up for that.
And when the show started, I would have been in my early 50s. Yeah.
okay.
So I think I was older than you.
Yeah, I was going to say that you would have been older than me, but obviously they were very close. So I would have said that they would have been very.
I think they would have been. They
great
were
friends. Yeah,
similar,
very tight.
similar mentality, I think.
Absolutely. Well, they're all up for the same good, and she was that close to John, so she would have been that close to Mary for sure. But was it really that time? This is like when the Emmys come up and they start and you're like, Jesus Christ, you gotta go to that.
Weren't they hilarious this year? My favorite was Jennifer Killer. She just started.
Oh my God, I love that she did that. She's like, I can't do this, so I'm just gonna dance.
Yeah.
We're just gonna dance off.
And that's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna dance off.
Dance off.
All right, Wednesday dance off. Please give it up.